to put my earphones in. So, what's up, guys? This is Coach Ray for for everyone who's joining up or watching it as a recording. So, I'm out of my quarantine. Quick update. So I'm filming some videos that I was planning to do. So make sure to check out the stuff that's coming out right here on this channel. Other thing is I wanted to make this video because I received like so many messages on Instagram and YouTube everywhere, and people sending me videos and asking me what should I train more, how do I get stronger pronation, back pressure, or whatever they want to talk about. So I want to talk about the hand and you know I will get into it, but first of all, I want to thank everyone who's becoming Patreon. We have 52 Patreons up until now, and everything you put into this project will come back to you as a great arm wrestling content that I'm making. So thank you guys for for support, and everyone who hasn't and has a chance to do it, please, link is in description. Become Patreon, support this channel, support Voice of Arm Wrestling as in our journey to make arm wrestling world a little bit more educated, smarter, stronger, and better overall. So the thing that I always get a question on is like, what should I do to to be this guy or that guy, and they can send me all these videos and everything else. And most of the time the problem, and it's like, in all essence, think about the first time you thought about arm wrestling, first time you stepped on table, what's in your mind? You're thinking like, who has the stronger hand, and that's it. And somehow in all of this social media and everything else, we kind of flown out from it, and now we're doing side pressure and back pressure and everything else, and everyone's neglecting the hand. So here's my story about the hand, and if anyone can dispute it, I'm open to it. So my, like, the hand is the most important thing. Stronger hand you have, better chances you have of winning. It goes like universally for everyone. If you look at any tournament, just like Google arm wrestling, open some tournament, the winner of most matches is the guy with the stronger hand, like, all the time. Like, what's going on with that? And no, everyone's thinking about more back pressure, more side pressure, when a hand that is the reason for losing. So the hand is kind of complicated, and we will get into it. But first of all, I want to say, like, everyone who's kind of promoting stuff that hand is secondary, or or someone's will find some videos where guy wins without a hand. So let's say there are 10,000 arm wrestlers. That would be pretty good estimate. Not professional arm wrestlers, but arm wrestlers overall. So, and I will say, best, like, give me the best example of guy winning without hand, and they can give me, let's say, 20. you know Give me best example of someone winning without using their hand constantly and intentionally. And the list is very short. Give me a list of anyone who wins a match by having dominant hand position. It's more than 50 and 60%. So these, like, everyone's looking at extremes. Everyone wants King's move because Michael is doing it. Everyone wants to be Jerry. And we're kind of, all of us, most of us, are living in a space between. We're right there. And everyone's trying to jump over it, neglecting it, do whatever they want, and, just ignoring it. The hand is the most important thing. If you don't train your hand like every week, multiple times, you kind of not doing anything. You kind of just basically, you're just robbing yourself of gains. Arm wrestling has always been about the hand, and it's always gonna be about the hand. Who use it better? So I know here comes a lot of guys that'll say, "Well, I train my hand every day. I have matches where I get the hand, and I still lose." I'm like, okay. Let's look at the hand a little bit more complex. So first we have fingers. So fingers will create the cup. Wrist will create cup, wrist flexion, all this. There are also some movements that are ulnar, radial deviations, as well as pronation, supination. So imagine if you're training just your hand to be able to do just one thing. So you're neglecting all those four other movements, and there's much more. I'm just getting into the big movements. And you kind of just forgetting about all of that and ignoring it and just focusing. So I'm just going to do this, going up and doing this. So, and you think that that's enough. You can train your hand in 1,000 different ways. There's like every day you can do something for your fingers, something for your wrists, something for rotation movements from ulnar radial deviation and things like that. And you can, so dude, with the shoulder workout, I'm gonna just ban you. Like I'm talking and you asking me about shoulder press best workout. Come on, dude. I'm in the middle of something, and yeah, he got my attention, I guess. But so you're focusing on thing that you need, and that is strong hand. Everyone needs a stronger hand. Think about many different exercises you can use, many, like everything you can do for cupping. Multi-spinner is great for adding rotation to your flexion movements, and things like that. When you look at best arm wrestlers, when you look at best talented arm wrestlers, I always say the best talented arm wrestlers will always come with the strongest hand. If they have hand that's superior to most people, they are superior. They have bigger advantage. They can go further in the sport. When getting in position, controlling the match, that's the difference. So when someone says, I get in, but I lose, they get in, but they don't control it. When you get in and you have, you if you go for top roll, you basically you cup, you secure pronator, opponent's hand is opening up on it, you get the superior position. And when you get the superior position, most likely you're going to win. Sometimes you don't. That's when you need something else. That's when you need more back pressure, more side pressure. We still should train on everything, but taking the hand in some kind of way, not training your hand or not making it better, or thinking that you cannot make it better, it's kind of it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. You're just kind of neglecting most important part in arm wrestling. And I see this time and time after again. Don't think about just wrist curls as arm wrestling movement. There are many different things that you can do. You can like in arm wrestling we train everything together with the hand. So we're gonna do back pressure, drag motion with the hand. We're gonna do side pressure with the hand and things like that. So you can find ways to add more on it, and that should be the most important thing for you to recover, to get it in a shape and everything else. So the hand is extremely important. Everyone's kind of, not everyone, but most people are neglecting it. Uh, right now, like what the thing that I've been saying for I don't know 4 years or something like now, the many top arm wrestlers are finally doing their YouTube channel. They're showing exercise that I was showing 4 years ago. So it's like they are doing the same thing. They are there. They're just uh, they are. They just didn't talk about it. I was kind of just wanted to talk about it, and we need to talk about it. So focus on hand, guys. Think about many different variations. You know that you can train your hand to have a dominant hand. Right here in Latvia, we have this hierarchy that the stronger your hand, the better chance of winning you have. Most of the times, much higher chances of winning. Very rarely, and that right now for me, that was one thing I noticed when I was in Dubai. When I was in Dubai, I had the stronger cup than anyone. Just I had it there. Except of course for Michael, he doesn't count. He's outside my realm. But I had the stronger hand from basically from the time I got COVID, and I was in real good shape then. I didn't kind of train anything else. Um, like I said, nothing more than 30 kilos of my back pressure, side pressure, anything. It's like low main, not even maintenance weight, just low weight. And now I'm like, oh my God, my hand is doing all the work. I don't even need anything else. I just was focusing on my hand. And I am in somewhat fault than anyone else that I was kind of, you sometimes get in these, um, you get in these things where you start doing some other things and kind of fall off and you're trying to catch some big weights. And, that's always an ego part, always mistake. So the whole this monologue is about the hand, the guys that are not training it or not thinking about training it. So right now you can go to Voice of Arm Wrestling YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, and there's a playlist. I'm still gonna add many things there, but on that playlist you can see about 30 videos right now for grip and hand training. Like whatever equipment you have, basically we have done it. And much more are coming soon. So I encourage everyone to go there, check them out, and start training and start doing and start not focusing on your hand size, your wrist size. That doesn't mean a thing in arm wrestling. How strong you are means a thing. We can see, like, eh, I'm still waiting on someone because everyone's talking about back pressure, side pressure, and everyone's kind of, like talking like their hand is like ace. It's like John Brzenk level, and they're not. So why would you be focusing on something having strong hand, like having strong side pressure will most times open up your hand. When you attack so fast that your wrist just cannot hold. It was a big problem for me at the beginning. My hand, like it's big, it's uncomfortable for most, but it's not. It was never strong, and in many cases, with wrist flexion, it is strong, but containing things, it's not. Right now, it's better than it's ever been. I don't know how many, at least 44% better, but it was big. Like I got my hands stronger. I made everything else weaker. I'm better than ever. I'm top five in Latvia. So it's a thing that everyone knows. Like you got into the sport, about arm wrestling, who like strong hand, things like. And we kind of just neglected. You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna focus on this stuff and not get better. Different variations, 3 times a week, every day. There is a reason why guys that do manual labor daily are strong. There's a reason why those guys have strong hand. And they come to practices and you teach them how to arm wrestle, and they are ace because their hands been working on so many different, small muscles, everything else. There's a lot of control. More control you have in your hand, better. Like if my hand can do everything I want in a match, I'm pretty sure I can win any match. If the guy doesn't just have ridiculously strong arm, like if I can gain all those centimeters, millimeters that I want, bigger advantage for me. So focus on your hand. Become Patreon to this to my channel, to our channel, and yeah, please support us. And we're thankful for that. But it's something I receive so many messages, and again, I need to talk about these things. And yeah, let's see. I have a short, thick hand. My hand folds. It's stronger, guys. Been trying to focus on it using your words during COVID. Focusing on more, man. Like sometimes, like for me, even though my fingers are kind of long, it's still like I don't want to hold on to anyone. Like without the strap, it's not as strong as with the strap. I get the strap and I'm like, boom, it's twice as strong. So think about everything I said. Think about fingers, think about wrist, think about ulnar radial deviation as well as pronation and supination. All those things come together. Um, so right now in Latvia, I would say like two guys have the strong, like Vlad hand is fingers and hand is super strong and controlled. And we have this other guy named Toms Rozits. If you're following Latvian arm wrestling, he's basically the second guy under Vlad in that class. And he is like in many ways even stronger. His hand is so dynamic that he can hold guys in very open position and just cup them and take everything away. Google Toms Rosic, watch his super matches. Last year he competed in Paul, and you can watch those matches in Vendetta All Stars. He was just like there was no chance, and we knew like he's a hell for a top roller because you lose all your hand control, and the weights that they do, especially on finger stuff and basically the grip and lifting in our arm wrestling angles, it translates on how strong they are. So like with Tuoms, like the only chance for me to beat Tuoms is I cannot top roll him. It's kind of impossible. Most guys even cannot top roll him. You need to control him, and then you can basically get him in a hook. For me, at least, Vlad can drag him or get him out position, things like that. The hand is the most important part, and everyone's kind of neglecting it. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Can you train pronation, supination, every other? You can train everything any day. The thing is, don't do the same exercise. That's the only thing. If you will do the same exercise every day, it kind of loses purpose. You get into adaptation mode, and you will not get better. You don't have to do much. You can write down two exercises for this or that muscle group and just focus it. If you're at home or you're working and you don't have time, just know, okay, so today I will do two types of wrist flexion. Tomorrow I will do two types of pronation. Then I will do something for my fingers. On fourth day I'm going to work maybe on my little bit on my supination and things like that. Uh, it's kind of, yeah. What do you think is the strongest hand control in the world at the moment? Strongest hand control in the world. Hmm. I would say like Devon's Larratt hand control is pretty insane. The way that he can get in positions, it's really insane. I don't know if it's the strongest. It's one of the most solid. You know, um, there's a lot of guys that have really strong hand. RVJ, has a strong hand that's been really like a milestone, like the thing that's keeping him champ, in my opinion. So there's a lot of guys with great strong hands. Most of the times it's genetics, but I know a bunch of people who have trained their hand to be that solid. And think about it like this: if your hand is all this, so let's say up to the forearm, if you're just training on one part and focusing on one part, the other part will be weak. So the stronger you have everything working together, it's not just, a lot of people think about getting in hook is like supinating, but it's supinating together with flexion, together with ulnar deviation and pronation together. So it's a lot of small movements added in one move that makes that hook so good. This is why a lot of the hook matches, when the guys are even in the arm, are won basically by fighting inches in the hand, who has superior position. So if you again just think about that, like this channel was made just for that, for training. And yeah, does grip strength matter in arm wrestling? Like classic grip strength, grip sport strength doesn't matter in arm wrestling. Arm wrestling grip strength matters. I can for sure say that the ability that you can lift on single arm deadlifts like we do, kind of makes sense. Who is better, or at least better at that position. Top two or three wrist exercise with minimal equipment. Like get a handle, and if you don't have a handle, get a pipe or something and have a basically resistance band. So add it on both sides. So on both sides you can work on your wrist cupping, you can work on your fingers, things like that. You can add them all together. You can do static motions, just getting in these positions. Then you can take it on one side, and I made a video, and you can Google uh, arm wrestling forearm training at home or something like that, and it's resistance band. You add resistance band to one side, and you can do basically make it as a multi spinner, and then you're working your flexion together with supination, radial deviation, or you can add it on top, and you're working together with pronating and things like that. I gave 5 6 exercises basically just with one tool, pipe and a resistance band, and everyone's like, oh, I don't have time to do this. Shut up. Let's see. Let's see. Is it a big disadvantage when your hand is smaller? No, there's a lot of guys that have small hand. You just make it strong. You figure out like if you're holding on to guys and you keep losing, like who cares? Just let go. Try more, work more in strap, work more on cupping things like again, RVJ made a great video and watch that. He shows a lot of great tools for building this strength. It, at least holding on to someone is much better than losing grip and kind of pressing to the side, because it's all like every time something falls apart, you go into desperation mode. Why would you put yourself in a desperation mode? We should all train for have a better position. Yeah. Mindaugas has a strong hand. Mindaugas is extremely strong. His hand is really, really strong. His fingers hold good. It's not easy to open him up. And the thing is, it's not just this that it's working. For him, all this is working as a chain. He puts his body and helping with his hand, and it's kind of sets traps, and it's magnificent. But he has a strong hand. It's again, he has a strong hand. If the hand would be strong, there's no chance he would be opened. Like last time I saw him get opened was with Engin Thursday, and we know Engin has a strong hand, strong pronation. He's everything. His move is stronger. There. Um, Coach, you start with a press or hook at the very beginning of your career. I think press is very difficult and risky move for you. I started like I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of catching everyone and then going back, and was kind of in between all the styles like it is right now. So I didn't have a distinct one style. Press kind of came late, about 3, 4, 5 years ago. Yeah, could be like this. And again, from I'm almost like that for years. Also, my tendons are strong from bench pressing and things like that. So the style kind of just, I'm like I'm real strong here. I should not fight it. I'm not real strong in a hook. I'm getting better now, but I'm really good at pressing things now. Um, okay. There's a video on carpal tunnel. Yeah, just Google our channel. Yeah, you can Google the channel. We have it already. I have so many people asking me questions like can you send me or make video about this? And we have done it like multiple times. And then I know it's not the nicest way to answer, but I'm like like you are too lazy to Google search this channel. Like you can open the channel and there's search button and just type in a keyword, and you expect me just to send you videos out. So yeah, video is there. Go and check it out. It might help you. When a match starts on ready go, do you have more pulling motion or side pressure? Depends on who you arm wrestling. So if you arm wrestle someone who is very explosive, you need to put brakes on them. You use side pressure or back pressure. If you arm wrestling someone who will kind of basically not think about their hand too much, trying to pin you, you might need to have hand control first. So I will always try to get in my position. That's all I'm thinking of when I'm arm wrestling. Um, who's your favorite arm wrestler? John. John is everyone's favorite arm wrestler. Like what that man has done will never be replicated, in my opinion. It's very, very. It's impossible, in my opinion, replicate who John was, what he did, and how he did it. Um, everyone's it's everyone's trying to figure out who's the next goat is on their criteria when you cannot match one of his criteria. He was goat in 7 different things in arm wrestling, and it's kind of ridiculous. So if you don't get inspired while watching John Brzenk, you don't know arm wrestling. You are not. You really don't understand it. So yeah. Right, my right arm always hurt between bicep and forearm after training or sparring. Any solution? Again, we have made videos on why your arms hurt. Google the channel, you will find it. Arms will hurt from sparring. That's completely normal. It's this balance. It's tendons that are hurting. It's this balance in arm. Yeah, yeah. How do you use your index finger, or how do you training your index finger? Which one is index finger? This is index finger. This is index finger. It trains with everything you do. Devon has mentioned that he believes there will be betting, gambling, and arm wrestling. Do you feel the sport can get there? Is there too many variables in arm wrestling? Perhaps grease the matches. Um, like depends on where. Like Paul is doing, like everything that Paul is doing. Everyone's like talking so bad things about Igor. And like again, these are people who don't understand arm wrestling, who hasn't been around. You just joined the party like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You haven't been this here for 20 years. Like I don't know how long Igor's been into arm wrestling, but they've been planning to do betting, and they have done betting before. To do betting, first of all, you need really good refereeing. There are no thing as a micro foul. Either it's a foul or it's not. There is no in between. So to make arm wrestling be able to do it in a betting system, like they cannot do it in WL with the rule sets and how they're moving around table, it's impossible. Because like if I would put money and on the last match, like take one any match where there was like some weird positions, some weird elbow fouls, or 20 elbow fouls, no one called them, I would want my money back. I would really want my money back. So it doesn't work. To get people in arm wrestling, in betting, it should be fair. This is for most sports. This is why you have referees looking back at cameras and things like that. It's not to make it so hard for, if you watch ice hockey, there's sometimes this thing where guys will score a goal, but it will jump back out, score a net, and it will jump back out, and camera doesn't see it, or our eyes don't see it, and there's a break, and they have to look back and take, and like, oh yeah, yeah, there was a goal. And it's not because, I don't think it's because of to make it fairer. It's because there would be a lot of dispute. Honestly, right now has a lot of disputes and everything that's going on. PL matches are kind of, and even the WF matches are kind of pinnacle of less disputes, because you have really professional referees. In Paul's case, you have even camera settings, so you watching at everything. You see what's going on, and saying that the match stopped, and there's so many good matches that don't stop when they get in a hook. No guy foul out. The problem is when someone really wants to win and they have less chance of doing it. This is when the fouls happen. I was gonna do a video on basically foul system on referees and things like that. And everyone's like, yeah, it's like when your favorite arm wrestler wins with a foul, it's fine. But if he loses with a foul, and or there was not foul called on the other guy, that's a problem. So if you don't see hypocrisy in that, you're just like, who are you talking to? Why do we keep lying to each other? Every time an arm wrestler, I have lost so many times on fouls, and only one who I'm saying the fault was mine. I was not prepared. I was not strong enough. I made a technical error. It was just me. If one of my guys loses on fouls and we know there was a foul, I will, I will say it like, you made an error. That's it. You should not be talking about anyone else. You know, hand control. Um, the thing is, people will say, well, there are these micro fouls. So let's look at the micro fouls. The micro foul moves, let's say I'm moving over the pad. So I was trying to gain position. That's when I did. I gained position, you know. Elbow drops to the side. I was creating space. Like every time you will get a like elbow foul, either you're not concentrating or controlling your elbow, or you was trying to move in a way that would give you advantage. And sometimes it's like there's a reason why when guys sometimes start, their arms fall off like this. They're trying to get a higher ground or something. They will do these kind of moves. and it's a foul every time. So uh, I don't see what's the big part about this. Oh, yes, there were a lot of good matches that had been stopped, but there are reasons why we have rules. Like again, people are trying to make arm wrestling in something it's not. Same thing goes as a King's move. Oh no, these matches should not happen. Like if it's within the rules, we have to, we're dealing with it. Yeah, a lot of things look ugly. For me, sometimes, when someone just kind of, presses with their hand down, sometimes that will look ugly, or some weird top rolling positions will look. But that's just my opinion. It shouldn't, like your opinion should not be higher than the sport, and that's kind of problem with everything. Arm wrestling is how it is. We try to make it as fair as possible, and if we make it as fair as possible, betting system will be possible in arm wrestling. And that will give more money to arm wrestling. That will give more exposure to arm wrestlers. It will give everything we want. But we kind of, but I don't like these microfalls. What would you call on these microfalls? I think they have a better ways to create pads that would be more, or have less elbow fouls. That would be great. Some kind of, little bit. I don't know what kind of shape it would be. Some kind of box in it within. You know. What do you think, Larat? What do you think? Larat can defeat Dennis or not? I don't know who's Larat or Dennis. House always wins in betting. Of course, House always wins. If you're top roller, should you focus on forearm more than biceps? No, focus on the bicep more. Focus on not getting the top roll. Focus on your body. Like, what are these questions? Are you really like guys? Are like so many people are just like opening one video and they don't even research. Like, if you want to be great at something, you research your sport, you think about your sport, you analyze it, you think, you just, it doesn't stop. It's not just one video. If you just want to arm wrestle for fun, cool, no problem. But there's so many people who are kind of really into it, but not really. Be more into it. That's just my advice. Yeah, like if you have any questions and you think you want to ask them, Google this channel. We have basically covered everything. What rules in the sport WL or Paul do you think doesn't make sense in arm wrestling? What rules in sport WL or Paul? Like, I think running foul system would make it better. I don't think it would make it worse for betting. I think it's kind of better thing to have because it will give guys will have to be more in a match. They will have to choose their strategies and things like that. And when they're giving up, when they're not giving up. In WF or PAL system, when you can foul out and have a reset and things like that. Yeah. Arm wrestling is very because controlled combat. Do you think riser training is much more important than pronation? No, I don't think so. In your opinion, how many times per week we should training finger? Once, twice? Under pressure first at start times. Okay. My arm is strong, but I lose to people how is weaker than me. Are they weaker than you? Like, are they when someone says like this is kind of it's kind of ridiculous thing to say. I can beat this guy, but he's stronger than me. Like, define it. Can he beat you? Like, there's difference if I say I can flash this guy, have a fast win, or I can beat him. Ryan made a video where he was like Andrew. He had a match with Andrew, and he's like, yeah, Andrew's stronger, and he just get him in hooking everywhere and just beat him everywhere. Like, how is he stronger? The same thing goes like what do you define as stronger? Like the same like same. It's like think outside the box. So um, I can bench press 200 kilos. Let's say I find an MMA fighter, like I don't know, doesn't matter. Last MMA fighter in Latvia, the last ranked, he bench presses 80 kilos. Does that mean I'm stronger than him? Yes, in bench press. Can he beat me? I'm 100% sure, because I'm not a fighter. Same goes as like yeah, this guy is stronger than me, but I still like I beat him in arm wrestling. Like to make it's kind of it gives you more value sometimes when someone says like this. It's yeah, that this guy is strong, but I'm better at arm wrestling. I'm stronger at arm wrestling. It's this is one of those things that it's kind of ridiculous when people say it, but people keep saying this. Or like I have a stronger hand, this guy just beats me. He is stronger at arm wrestling. Like your hand is not strong enough. Make it even stronger. It's like I'm stronger than this and he still beats me. No, you're not. Get yourself stronger. Or, I'm weaker, but I can beat. No, you're not. You are stronger. This is kind of ridiculous saying. Imagine, like, I would go around and say, like every time an arm wrestle, let's say my buddy Oscars, that they train powerlifting with him, and I say, like, every time, like, yeah, this guy is stronger than me. He deadlifts and bench presses more, but I still beat him in arm wrestling. Yeah, but he's stronger than me. He's stronger at powerlifting. I'm stronger at arm wrestling. Not even close at arm wrestling. Not even close at powerlifting. So stop talking nonsense. Yeah. Um, who is more stronger on the table when the power level is the same? A top role player or hook one? Like both of these guys want to get done something completely different. One wants to open your hand and drag you outside. Wants to get in your hand in your arm as deep as possible. It's you cannot say who's stronger. The style that wins that day was the strongest. You put two guys in, the winner is the strongest. It's simple as that. Or better arm wrestler to be more precise. Are you ranked? I'm ranked. Am I ranked higher at Latvia at bench press than in arm wrestling? I'm first in my class in both. So right now I'm 95. I'm number one in both. Uh, 93 bench press, 95. Yeah, I weigh 87 something, 88. It doesn't matter. So who would win eating competition? Me, I would win. Giannis has no chance. Pull-ups more difficult than chin-ups, so it's easier to do hook than top roll. Pull-ups more easy. Okay, sure. Should train hook or top roll with long arms, strong elbows or fingers. You train where you are strongest. It's again, you look the same question I'm answering every time. This is why I get kind of heated. Like, what should I do? How should I arm wrestle? You go on table, you figure out where you're the strongest. You will know where you are the strongest because it's the easiest path to victory, or you're giving the most trouble to someone, and just stick to it and build everything around it. Hey, Austin, Texas. What's up, Andy? Top roll versus hook, which can do more hand control. Of course, top roll. Hook doesn't. Hook needs to get in and stay on top ground. Top roll needs more hand control. Of course, one is hand oriented, other is arm oriented. Which one is hand oriented? Which one is arm oriented? Please write down in chat right now. What do you think is more important, arms, forearm, biceps? Oh man, you kind of stuck on that bicep for everything. If you would know me and everyone else in this chat, like guys, what is most important thing in arm wrestling? What muscle? Yeah, top roll, long hands, good for hook. Wide hands, good for top roll. Long hands, good for hook. Wide hands, long hands, short hands, any kind of hands are good for a style that you're strong in. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. How many arms have you broken over the years? No, none. Can a lagging riser make you a bad top roller? Yeah, the riser kind of gets too much attention, in my opinion. Like even Derek was saying that, like riser is more important. And again, it's kind of biomechanics. Like I know so many guys like they don't use riser at all. They don't care about the riser. They care about other things like having your pronator strong. That would be more important. So the thing is, every style that demands you to have a riser, you cannot win without it. And there's all of those styles that will work without riser. So no, sorry, that not the thing was I was saying like there. The question was basically like pronation or riser, and everyone was like, yeah, riser, yeah. Like think about this, like every style needs pronation. Like if I'm going in hook, I still want to keep this high. That means my pronator is active. If I lose it, I'm basically supinated. Much harder for me. If I'm top rolling someone, I need to have hand here or straight. If I open up, I can defend, but I'm defending. I'm not winning. If I'm pressing, if I over supinate and basically get into this position, someone can just roll me over. And every style in between depends on you to have good pronator defense, whatever. Riser, if you have a good riser and you're rising up, you kind of all the time someone can hook you know, and someone will give me, well, Michael needs riser. You cannot hook Michael for a reason. His arm doesn't supinate all the way; it stays here, so it doesn't matter. For him it doesn't matter. He has strong pronator. He can work on his riser to gain a higher position, and then it works. Who else said it? Hutchings said it again. Doesn't care. He tries to stay high because it doesn't, like, he's not trying to top roll you. He wants to hook all the time, so he can stay high, he can be here, and he wants to hook, and that's it. So this riser versus anything else is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Like it's important when you use it, and many people don't even use it and don't know how to use it. Or one of the it's one of those muscles that I have not seen a lot of guys like having real gains. If you have it naturally when you start and you just start doing arm wrestling, and this is already, you can lift heavy weights like 30 kilos or 40 kilos. Nice. Like I have not lifted more than 28, and I have tried to train it for I don't know how many years. And it's not like I was just doing something. I was really like past year I was really dedicated on working on my riser because I felt like maybe I need to start a little bit more posting. But I'm like, if I post, I'm completely different arm wrestler. I'm kind of excellent here. So yes, big hands help in arm wrestling. Once this pandemic dies down, by choice of words, will you go traveling, promote arm wrestling? Yes. Yeah. Uh, what's your prediction about Sasha versus Rockley? Do you see that match? I would be very, very surprised. I know, like, to beat Sasha, what you need, like fresh Sasha, you need like speed and a good top roll. So Irakli has good chances. I don't know how many rounds, but I think he can win at least one or two. After that, yeah, Sasha doesn't care. Sasha will just press through, in my opinion. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Hermes or Vitali prediction? Well, it should be Vitali. In your opinion, what strongman has the most potential as an arm wrestler? Vytautas Lalasas, because he was an arm wrestler when he started. All of them has a good potential because they're just strong. They're big and strong, and being heavyweight will give you big advantage over everyone. Having that structural advantage when the hand is big, when you're thick, it's a huge advantage. You just need to learn how to arm wrestle. That's like Larry Wheels has a huge advantage over every beginner that starts. If beginner is not genetically gifted for the sport, Larry has huge advantage. He just needs to learn how to arm wrestle. I don't like the big hands and strong hands and grip sport. It doesn't matter when you don't know how to arm wrestle. So I will not say anything. Coach Ray, how do I develop side pressure as a beginner safely? You can find some exercises on this channel. There's a playlist called Side Pressure. Do you think did you think Vlad the Destroyer had a chance against Travis? Not that point. Vlad was cutting weight. He was competing in every class, so he was cutting weight because we were first time in USA, and the food is really good, and it's really tasty for some reasons, and we gained a lot of extra weight that we didn't need. Uh, and yeah, and Vlad was he hates cutting weight, so he cut weight. He felt a little bit like shit. His right wasn't good. His left was solid, but it was not that good. Right now, of course, I believe he has better chances. I don't know where Travis is right now. I know Vlad is really good shape right now. Why are arm wrestling not famous and loved the game by normal people like bodybuilding, powerlifting, etc.? We'll see. We'll see. This is why I'm here. Uh, Jab thing, Jarek, Todd, to Larry. Ray, what do you think about the jab thing, Jerry? Hooking it? Of course, yeah, you want to get in and get out as fast as you can. It's a good metaphor. Yeah, Derek did a good job. People were basically commenting like when I did a video on hook where I said, but it wasn't because like for anything Derek was talking about. I was preparing to do that video because of what people were talking about. And again, I made a video where I explained why Larry should not pull and hook. And everyone who's there commenting, like I don't know how many, like hundreds of comments, and it's like I'm 100% sure none of them have ever arm wrestled or even got into to the point in arm wrestling where they figure out techniques where they say like, yeah, he should just learn everything, or can he do both? Like if you want to be successful in this sport, you don't do both. Most of like very rarely you will switch between styles, and this is only by the strongest dudes. Like imagine like Larry could not beat my right arm in a hook or top roll, if we would have a match. So what's the chances of him beating bigger guys than me? It's so develop that one style and then you slowly build something around it. That's the big part about arm wrestling. And everyone's again, same thing. Train your hands and think about that one style that will get you the victory. Stick to that style, make it better. Can I get actual side pressure gains without table in the gym? Side pressure is it's kind of so side pressure is internal rotation with a static motion of your hand. Make everything here strong. Do some internal rotation. You'll get better. What are your aspiration, Ray? Life goals, anything? I want to make arm wrestling big. I want to be part of making arm wrestling big. I say this many times, and if you listen to me talk, I have said this many times. Like powerlifting right now is on incredible surge in tested, non-tested events. They're just rewriting history basically every month. Arm wrestling is not there because of information, but right now, like more people, like basically when I started, it was me and Ryan, to be honest, that they are doing content that is not competition content. Competition content has always been there. But when you talk about things like training and experiences and things like that, so almost like I will start talk about exercises and science behind them and what you should do and how this works and how it's the best technique for this and blah blah blah. And no one else was kind of doing it. Devon was doing some parts of it, but things like that. Now more people are interested in building their social media presence, and they start talking. Like I just saw Marcio Barbosa talking about like I don't know 10 exercises that I showed 3 years ago, but he's showing that like okay, because sometimes they will not believe me because how young I look. Like this guy is not. He doesn't know anything. So we have backup at least now, and I think more people are coming out to social media and showing their training because I'll grab so many different good ideas from so many different arm wrestlers. I will see like someone posting their training. I'm like, this is a great exercise. I didn't think of this. And the thing is, you need to understand, and this is the most ignorant thing when people think they know everything. They know. I'm like, when someone like I have seen this happening before when someone goes to training and they say like, "Yo, we have like I don't know, me or Vlad coming in." And they're like, "Oh no, I know everything." Do you like? it's such an it's such a thing to believe that you know everything about sport in, I don't know, 3 years, 10 years. Like everyone who's been here, like Engin for 30 years, he will say like every year I'm learning something new. For me too. The same goes as training. I'm always in pursuit of better exercises, more efficient exercise, and things like that. So, uh, you just you keep you keep grinding, you keep training, you keep your mind open. Jordan Peterson's quote, always like expect someone you're talking to know something you don't. And this is how I'm looking at things. If I'm having a conversation with someone in a podcast or something like that, someone speaking, where I'm interested in, I will not talk over them when they're saying something like something a little bit wrong about whatever they said, because if I know how is the right thing, I will listen to it, because there's always idea behind it. About There's so many people talking about their training, and when they really don't understand, again, the biomechanic and things like that, but they will explain it in different way, and you can still have benefit from it. So yeah, keep an open mind, be always in pursuit of perfection. You will never catch it. It's not like in arm wrestling, same way goes. You will never, there is no top. There isn't. There isn't. It's just, you can climb a mountain for whatever you want, wherever your purpose is. You want to climb that mountain, and you want to stay there as long as you can, and you will know there's some time to go down from it. So right now, I want to climb that mountain of just arm wrestling education. This is why I'm doing these videos and telling stories with Eric Rosin from Arm Wrestling Archives, all those things like that. And yeah, yeah. You remember with this boat table, find it difficult to pivot from hip. How do you do it? I use a riser, platform, or something like that, or I stand on my tippy toes. It's I kind of have used to it, and it's kind of, but yeah. I was answering. I'm short like Ray. My belly button is below table. I find it difficult to pivot from hip. How do you do it? So that was my answer. Sorry, guys. Your thoughts on sumo arm wrestling? I need to try it. Never tried it. Do you think prime sure? Okay, don't care. Some why my parent and grandparents used to say Latvians is difficult, funny but not nice. So I say, all Lithuanians, all Lithuanians. Yes. No, we say the same thing about you guys. I don't know who's right about that, but yeah. Could Giannis beat Prime Engin? Did they ever reverse in the recent years? Not in the recent years. I think Giannis beat him once. Then he lost a super match about I don't know how long after. And after that, every time they've been in the same class, Giannis has finished higher than him, but they have not met. Prime match would be solid, so that would be interesting. But of course, it's never going to happen. Is Latvia still in WAF? Are you guys coming to Jordan in September? Or if not, no, we're in WAF. We're in WAF. If championship happens, I believe WAF Europeans, like European Arm Wrestling Championship, I don't think it's going to happen. It should be in Lithuania, right next to us, about, I don't know, 300 kilometers from here. But I don't think it's happening. I would really love it would be, but I don't see. How's the money in arm wrestling, generally speaking? If you have a bank account, it's digital. You have a card, like what's that? Uh, you know, it's I don't understand, like, what's money in arm wrestling. What I get these guys. I think you like many guys from India calling me, sending me messages and asking like, I want to become a professional arm wrestler. Do you think I can make a living out of it? I'm like, what do you mean professional arm wrestler? It's not like you become professional arm wrestler. You prove yourself to be worthy enough to to do whatever you want in this sport. Right now, if arm wrestling is getting bigger. Combat sports are really high. It's getting more interesting than anything else, and I think it's going to be very profitable for many people. So, if you want to get into arm wrestling, and if you are good, you know, Yeah, if you start arm wrestling, yeah. Giannis has this great quote. He was on Latvian national TV, and they were asking him like about money and something, and he's like if you want to make money in sports, play tennis or golf. You know, if you want to, if you want to prove that you're the strongest, go win an arm wrestling tournament. You know, so how to stop a top roller of short fingers and you just can't roll your hand around them. Get in a strap more. It's better in strap. Have a stronger hand. Have stronger fingers. How to stop this or that. You know, training. Any exercises that are worth any Asian arm wrestlers that are worth noting. Like everyone from Kazakhstan is worth noting. The strongest. If anyone can make a better argument where the strongest arm wrestlers on the planet are, I would love to hear it. But the conversation definitely top three is Kazakhs. Kazakhs, without doubt, you know, overall, I'm not talking just, you know, three pullers from there or overall strong. Like they have killers in every class. They every time they go to a tournament, they basically take every like first place medal. So Kazakhs, you know. Money is better than football. Okay. All right. I've been practicing and I seem to do a good job of dominating the opponent hand, but I really struggle getting the pin. Certain point, I can't push beyond just a strength issue. Um, think about the power, you know, where your power is transferring. If you get the hand, and sometimes, like, again, this was one of the things I was teaching Larry. He gets position, he gets here, and then for some reason he starts moving all his strength here. So he just tries to do this and pull down where you could be going more up, basically having even higher ground, pulling up, and doing the same thing. So sometimes it's not strength problem, it's coordination problem where you are transferring your strength. I get twice as strong out of strap. How do I get strength outside the strap? Strength. Practice. Uh, I don't understand exploding hand technique. Cobra Rhodes can explain that. Yeah, he's a master at it, you know. Should I be training side pressure on a push day or pull day? Push day. Of course, push day. It's like pull day is like side pressure is not pulling, it's pushing. It's this is side pressure. This is what we call side pressure. So doing it together with your push day, you know, internal rotation, something on table, whatever. Pinning coordination, pinning involves coordinating your arm with your lats. And it's not just lats, it's everything else as well, but it's a lot of coordination. But it's a lot of people will have this problem where they kind of stay, like they will get pinned, like they get the hand, and they forget that they can do more. They can over rotate it, pull it, and they will stay in the center and then start pressing down. I don't know if that's the guy's problem, but you know, are the guy with the strong hand and wrist better without the straps? Like, if this is really good, like you know, your cup is staying together, less without the strap, most of the times you will be better. But if you practice enough, you make that this is strong, and in the strap it's even stronger. So for me, this is kind of strong, but in the strap it's really strong. So yeah, how to increase endurance in center of the table? Like what do you mean by endurance in the center of the table? Any answers from my country, Brunei? Oh no, sorry, man, I don't know. Your hands usually what are measurement? I don't know. Like in last fix, we're trying to figure out, but I don't have anything. I don't know. They think big, you know. They just big and thick, and they're always have been. So yeah, I don't know my measurements. I don't think about like it was like oh what's like how big is your bicep? Who cares? I don't care, you know, and no one should also. It's the bodybuilders things, you know, like we kind of like to look at the tail of the tape and think about measurements and everything else when they really don't matter. You know, Some people have impressive hands, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if the hand size or something like would change everything. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Should I hit side pressure on the first thing on a push day or do accessory? It's accessory lift. Mid range. What does RVJ mean when he says true hand control? Do you have true hand control? I don't know what he means, true hand control. Yeah, be straight. Thank you. I don't think so, but cool. Very Douglas. It means static training or dynamic. Like Kartik Jamwal, where did you go? Did you explain what did you mean? How to increase? And I don't know what the question is, man. Okay, guys, we're hour in. I thank you everyone for watching. Like the video, support us on Patreon. New videos are coming out this week. You won't be disappointed. Stay strong.